They come out the gates here strong and put together just a solid first quarter.
A ton of good looks for him, Greg, on offense, and it's quality shots they're getting.
So for Chicago right now, McDermott is out there with Noah. Then there's Ejuan Moore. Then there's Derrick Rose. And it's Gasol at the center position. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
Oh, terrific way to finish that move there, going to the basket.
To the wing on the left. Outside Rose. He kicks it to Gasol. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got his 5th assist in this one. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long, Clark, as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right.
You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Jack. Hollis Jefferson passes to Young. And again, no good by Brooklyn.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be. Firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. And last year, not exactly up to Noah's lofty standards. Was way down in field goal percentage and free throw percentages compared to the season before, but he did not play completely healthy all of last year either.
A little dinged up, missed 13 games more than he had the season prior, and also the minutes dropped as well. And you could just see him laboring at times on the floor, clearly affected by those injuries.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Bulls.
Boy, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
And, you know, going back to Noah last season, I think the additions to the Bulls front court had an effect on him. I mean, they added Gasol and Mirotic, 2 major talents up front. I think that gave Noah less opportunities than he'd had the year before, and it was an adjustment for him.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something. You're right. That's good.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim.
And Moore kicks to Gasol. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
And guys, talking about Joakim Noah, he was still the spirit of that team last season. Amongst all the great talents the Bulls had, Noah was that energizer and catalyst for the team. A true warrior, even in an off year.
That's tipped. Out of bounds. Next ball as Brooklyn keeps possession.
And here we get a chance to check out the story on Jimmy Butler. He's coming off an excellent season, 11th in steals, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
And as we saw last year, I mean, a difficult guy to run the offense against, constantly jumping the passing lanes. It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Young. Here's Lopez. That one's all good. Now he's 3 for 5 from the field.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Butler goes in. Yes, once again, it remains perfect. 6 attempts and 6 hits.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Not a lot you can do as a defense when they keep getting the ball in the paint like this.
Offensive rebound. And again, it's Brook Lopez. Lopez has got 6 points in the quarter.
You know, he's had better starts, obviously, but he's shaking it off here in the second.
Butler from outside. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
Really just a tremendous day for him. And if you remember, he was just as good in their last game.
Nets were pretty far back from relevance at times last season, as we saw. It took a late season hot streak for them, Greg, to get into the playoff picture.
Yeah, and that was a neck-and-neck race with the Pacers right till the very end. Not exactly what they had in mind at the start of the season, but they did pull through.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Henry Sims has checked in for Lopez. Thomas Robinson comes in for Young. Bogdanovich has checked in for Hollis Jefferson. And Donald Sloan subbed in for Jarrett Jack.
And, you know, for the Nets, they ended up being bounced out of the first round, fell to the #1 seed Hawks. They put up a good fight against Atlanta and made the series interesting, but still came up short.
Chicago making a switch here. Portis has checked in.
And for the Nets in the postseason, they did have a good showing despite that early exit. Many people expected the Hawks to sweep, but they took them to 6 games and capped what was an interesting year for Brooklyn overall.
Here's Sloan. There's a screen by Robinson. Sloan dishes to Robinson. Banked in off the glass. Robinson's got his second bucket of the night.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Portis, it's Chicago with another bucket.
Clearly, they've been the hotter team here in the first half.
Well, they've been grit and grind, working for those high percentage shots, and quite honestly, it's paid off for them.
Here's Bogdanovich. Miričić grabs the miss.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Here's Butler. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Chicago making a switch here. Rose is checked in.
You know, Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who had to overcome major odds just to get to the NBA. Reportedly, his father abandoned the family when Jimmy was an infant. Mom kicked Jimmy out when he was 13. The obstacles and adversity go on, yet he's made it and made it big.
Scooped up. And there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done. And it's 6 points for Robinson. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for one.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
Joakim Noah's checked in for Taj Gibson. Here's Sims. An easy layup after coming off the pick. And going back to Jimmy Butler, there were just so many times when he was set up to fail. He was not heavily recruited out of high school. He was even homeless when he was in high school in the Houston area. Went to a junior college, then Marquette, now in the NBA. So he played his freshman year at a junior college, which I think humbled him just a bit, but maybe gave him that work ethic that is so much, Greg, a part of his game now.
And Kevin, the talent was there. And most of all, as we see how he dealt with adversity, the heart was there. He blocked out the distractions and finally transferred to a major college and worked his way into becoming a first-round pick.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there. He's not the guy you want to leave open on the perimeter. You've got to stay attached to him.
And Miričić kicks to Rose. Noah with it. Sims there. Here's Rose. Gets the 14-footer to fall. Rose has got 8.
That mid-range jumper is just another one of his weapons.
41 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. There's the feed to Sloan. Robinson a screen on Rose. Here's Sloan. They get it back, and the dunk by Robinson.
And putting in the work on the boards, and it's paying off with chances like that.
And G.A., he does put in the work. You're right. It's why he's on the finishing end of one putback slam after another.
Well, his effort has never been a question mark. He is an incredibly self-motivated player.
Here's Sloan. Rose with the block. can't get it to go. And so a pretty...
Hey, Kevin, with Derrick Rose. Derrick, how does it feel to get back out there on the basketball floor here for the new season ahead?
It feels good, man, especially playing with my teammates. We have new teammates. We're just trying to come out here and just play hard and compete.
Great to have you back, Derrick. Kevin, back to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. We've been watching a pretty lopsided game through the first half, that's for sure. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined again by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Big-time play throughout the first half for Jimmy Butler. He had 18 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 steal. He put last game's performance behind him, doing some nice work in the opening period tonight. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Well, they were dishing out dimes left and right, and the guys were finishing strong. As a team, they seem to be always thinking, always looking for the best shot. If they keep sharing the ball this way, the second half could be more lopsided than the first.
And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
Ernie, they are way too weak defensively in the paint. They're getting walked over down low, giving up a ton of points. Barbecue chicken everywhere, with the sauce, without the sauce. We're having a Thanksgiving feast in here. That's a recipe for disaster. They cannot keep letting guys drive the lane, layups, lobs. Defense is weak, Ernie.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We will see you after the game.